Scars come in many forms: chronic illness, abuse, depression, shame. We all carry something, but what if those scars don't have to just be a reminder of what hurt us, but a testimony of what held us together? In this video, I sit down with other warriors, not just HS warriors, but people who have battled all those things above, and they walked through the fire and made it out in faith. And how trusting in God or a divine presence has helped them deal with their pain differently. Not as something to hide, but as something that proves we're still here, still standing. For me, there were moments where I walked away from faith, right? Because the pain felt louder than God's voice, but I came back because a life without that anchor, that community of Him and I, was harder to bear. And I realized something, that He had never abandoned me. Although sometimes, I'll be honest, it felt like that. So if you've ever felt like life was hard, that your scars felt too heavy, this is for you.
So faith has been a huge part of my healing journey. I'm not a religious person, but I am a spiritual person. So I have leaned on faith and hope a lot in my journey because I wouldn't be here. And trigger warning for anybody, but I've dealt with suicidal ideation my whole life, outside of HS and inside of HS. And so hope and faith has given me the ability to look forward to the next day without feeling like, all is lost. Like I don't deserve to be here or I'm not needed. So hope and faith has healed me in ways that I don't even know if I can fully describe just as yet, because I'm still in the process of leaning on those things so that I can, be all that I want to be in this lifetime. So, yeah.
How has faith impacted my scars? My scars has caused me to fall flat face on my faith. Without God and the culture of knowing who I can lean on only, I will be somewhere else. So my faith is strong because of my scars.
Faith has helped shape my scars because the scars are always going to be there, but it's your faith, it's your mentality. It's what keeps you on the straight and narrow path of being able to guide yourself in a peaceful manner mentally. So I'll say faith is what shapes and molds me and keeps me grounded. It's a better word in my foundation.
So basically, when I think about faith, I think about things that remind me of my strength and things that I can be able to take away and know that there's a brighter light towards my suffering or whatever I'm going through during that time. So basically, when I think about faith, I think about opportunity and hope and me being able to lead the way with resources that are provided to me for me to give to someone else.
My scars have shaped my faith by showing me that I can still be vulnerable and resilient at the same time. I'm still a strong woman.
So how my scars have impacted my faith. Initially, I saw them as signs of abuse. I saw them as signs of being defeated, or signs that things happened to me. And then just going on my own journey with my faith and with God, to me, my signs show me what I've survived. They show me what I've pushed past, I've pushed through, and I've overcome. And so that's what my scars mean to me now. They show me that I am more than a conqueror. And sometimes it is hard to look at some of these scars and be like, okay, well, this was a hard time in my life, but the scar shows me that it's done. And so that's what my scars mean to me.
What has really had an impact on my faith are the hardships that I have faced, whether it's with HS or with living with psoriasis or with having parents who abuse drugs. The more I have gone through, the more God has shown me that it's going to be all right. Even if it's short term, even if it's long term, if I can just not become a victim to it, if I can learn how to push through it, if I can learn how to use this situation for good, which a lot of our hardships, that we face, you can't use it for good. And so that is where my faith comes from. Going through these hard situations and knowing that they're not going to be like that forever, and making it through and getting to the end, and then using those situations that had me down, depressed, and just done with life, using them to help other people and to use them as a testimony of evolution. I look back sometimes, like I used to be 90% covered with psoriasis, and to now be clear and not even have evidence that I went through that hardship is just a testament to having faith and believing that it's not going to be bad forever, that there is light at the end of the tunnel, even though when you're going through it, it may not seem that way. So each situation in my life has taught me to have faith. Even right now, if I'm struggling, like, okay, I will live in the fact that I'm struggling. I will be present with that. But I always have hope because of my other situations that I'm going to get through it and it's going to be okay.
I love that. And I also have parents, both my parents are addicts. Different addiction to different things, right? And so it's hard navigating having a chronic illness and not having that support system. I don't know how long it's been with your family, but a long time off the deep end, right? And so of like, community is not something that is innate to me, right? Of having support system. And so being able to create that and having to create it is a journey in itself of being able to advocate, create your own support system, and then try to navigate your health. Like, that's just a layer to your scars that most people, prayer to God, won't have to deal with.
Yeah, and to your point, how much of that childhood trauma has affected our bodies? Where we, because of that, deep down, we have these diseases because we're just used to the stress and holding on to it. And we got to dig deeper into that.
There's actually a study. There's a dermatologist who looks at trauma, right? And we talked about childhood trauma. She was like, tell me about your childhood and how that trauma affects people with HS, and how the rates of people who have had traumatic childhoods are more likely to have HS.
See, that's crazy, because I'm sure if we look at other chronic illnesses, which they always say Black people are the leading for that, and we deal with so much trauma, whether it's socioeconomically or mentally or emotionally or culturally. Girl, don't get me started.
Which goes back to like when he was talking about, they were saying, it's higher in Black women, or why is that?
Right.
So when we look at Black women and the burden of what we carry, it would make sense that a condition that is, thrives on being stressed, thrives on chronic inflammation, chronic trauma, shows up more in the DNA of the people who live it.
The DNA. So it's so much deeper than our day-to-day
not even just you, but in your DNA, the chronic inflammation.
How it's passed down. Oh my goodness, yes. I totally believe that.
Yep.
Love it.
Those things have made my faith stronger, and I think my faith saved me in a way because of those things.
Okay, so like I said, it's a loaded question for me. My faith is something that I am, for the most part, pretty strong in. I lean on God for so many things, but it has taken someone reminding me that it's okay to be angry with Him for experiences in my life that has, I think, made my faith a little bit stronger. And there are still days where I look at the situation and I say, it is not fair. I am angry. I am ticked off. If God is real, why am I dealing with this? Why do my children have the possibility to deal with this? How do I continue to walk this journey when I have those questions? And I don't remember who it was I spoke with when I asked those questions, but the answer was that the fact that you have the ability to ask those questions is why you have to have faith. Because if you don't, there's nothing left. Everything for your life, everything that you are, everything that you do breaks down. If you have nothing strong to believe in, nothing strong to hold on to when you are struggling, when you are in pain, when you are fighting for your own kids, for your own health, then everything else falls apart. And so I think for me, holding on to the faith and the belief that there is a reason for this journey for me is what keeps me coming back to having that as my backbone for everything.
I love that, the belief part, right? One of my favorite scriptures is, Christ is like, if you could only believe, he's like, I do believe, help my unbelief. And like so many times we don't lead with our belief, we lead with our doubt. And one of the things that I live by is doubt your doubts before you doubt your faith. And so like it's okay to have doubt, but don't ever lead with your doubt, lead with your belief. Yeah. So I love that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to